Watch the entire video, my lovely viewers, to get the whole thing. Without wasting much of your time, let's get right into it.
This is DJ Mutati exclusive.
Hi lovely viewers, it's me again, your one and only Mutati Mpundu. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my channel, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel by hitting the subscribe button down below. Turn the bell icon to join the notification squad. Don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section below. I'll be super glad to hear from you lovely viewers.
If I were President Hakainde Hichilema, and it is communicated to me that President Edgar Chagwa Lungu has died, the first thing I'd probably do is call the widow and say, listen, I may not have had a good relationship with your husband because we were playing politics. He has died now, and I know you may have preferences as a family. I want to assure you that I will be there for you to help in any way. If there's anything that I can do. We have a protocol, or we've developed this system over time where we bury our president at Embassy Park. If you are willing or you'd like to, it would be good. As a matter of fact, I would like to come through and convey my condolences. But if you can't allow me, perhaps I'll send my wife. Something like that could have shown some humane aspect from the government. Something like that could have shown that indeed they are interested in resolving these issues. If for some reason President Hakainde Hichilema thought that his relationship with President Edgar Chagwa Lungu was indeed that toxic, and or if the family says, no, we do not want to see you, he could simply request, may I send my wife to you? If I were him, I would say, perhaps I can send my wife to you to come and just convey my condolences. If you can't have my wife, perhaps the vice president or any minister to come through to you. It just doesn't have to be him. If the family says, it is you we don't want, why are you insisting? If the family feels a dignified send-off for President Edgar Chagwa Lungu would require that you are absent, give it to them. You will not die if you did that. Nothing wrong will happen to you if you did that. Just yield to the desires of the family. That gives them the sense that President Edgar Chagwa Lungu has been a dignified send-off. Even if it means them buying away from home. If it gives them the sense that this is a dignified send-off. Leadership requires that you do just that. If you're going to negotiate, you don't negotiate using persons that have spoken ill of the deceased. You don't decide who should be on the other side whom you want to talk to. You don't decide who you are going to play football with from the other team. You can't say substitute the goalkeeper and put this goalkeeper. You don't do that. But in this whole thing, it may be more than we are seeing. And I would request that perhaps as a country, we pray for our nation. We pray for continued cohesion as a nation. But above all this, we need to pray for the Lungu family. We pray for God's comfort. We pray that if at all it is beyond what we see, if this matter could be spiritual, we pray that this matter be dealt with. We pray for God's intervention. It will be very important that we do that. In the meantime, the Lungu family wishes the Zambians well, and they thank you for the well wishes that you've expressed, the messages of condolences that keep pouring in, and they want you to know that they have not neglected you in any way. They just want President Edgar Chagwa Lungu to be given what would be a dignified send-off, and not his body to be treated as bounty or booty or indeed spoils of war. That is all they're asking for. I think it's not too much to ask. Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba, well, allow me to thank those that have called in. And perhaps the issue that was raised by Mr. Chanodangwira, where he's questioning the leadership of the country. I can only say that, can we for once put reason over pride? Can we allow reason to prevail and not pride? This is not a contestation that should be a win or lose situation. The question is, do we understand that all the family wants is a dignified send-off? Do we understand that? If your coming in the way does not give them a sense of a dignified send-off, why don't you just back down? Reason over pride would be something that would resolve the impasse that is there. Lillian Mtambo, you ask a very interesting question as regards the security. Of course, we've gotten a lot of advice. We've gotten word of threats, both against the family and against myself. But we are of the view that safety is not the absence of danger. We are in danger all the time. Safety is not the absence of danger, but the presence of God. I can assure you that we will be coming to Zambia eventually, and God will take care of us, because safety is not the absence of danger, but the presence of God. Then Robert from Manchester, thank you for the kind words. I will be sure to convey your love to the family. And our prayer in all this is that perhaps the cracks that the death of President Edgar Chagwa Lungu are revealing of the areas of healing that our country needs. And perhaps President Edgar Chagwa Lungu is saying, should we continue living like this? Should we continue with this aspect of every time someone leaves government, they become targets of victimization, whether as ministers, as president? Should we continue like this? What are the far-reaching consequences of leading our country in that direction? What is the role of the church in all this? What is the role of the civil society in all this? What is the role of every citizen in all this? Should we continue with this aspect, for example, in the event that President Hichilema is no longer president, eventually he will no longer be president? Should we be saying, Kawala Laoyo, chase after him, victimize his family? There are ministers who are there. They will no longer be ministers soon. Should we continue on this path as a nation? Perhaps that's a discussion that we should be having. There was a concern to say that there's been things that have been said against the family and against myself personally. I would want to assure you, my fellow citizens, that I will not respond to any personal attacks against myself, and the family will do everything possible to keep the dignity of the death of President Edgar Chagwa Lungu without responding to all forms of propaganda that have been raised, which included the aspect of the Lungus have bought a house in South Africa, which is not true. The Lungus are living a luxurious life in South Africa, which is not true. The Lungus have bought 150 cars in South Africa, which is not true. And it is for that reason that we're saying, if you want us to discuss, and we have called on the government to say, we're willing to talk, but please stop this mudslinging, stop this propaganda, because you need to come with clean hands. You can't be saying we're talking to the family quietly, and loudly using mediums such as Causeway and other mediums, you are propagating hatred against the family, trying to make people rise against the family. When all the family is asking for is one thing: how best can we give Edgar Chagwa Lungu a dignified send-off? Indeed, the treatment of the first family has been less than fair on them, and we will not succumb to all negativity, but in all this period, we have dedicated ourselves to prayer and seeking the guidance of God in all this. That is what the family has dedicated its time to do, and they will continue to do so. Patrick Chilufya, thank you very much for your contribution. And you said the president doesn't want to lose. This is not about who wins or who loses. This is about giving President Edgar Chagwa Lungu a dignified send-off. It's a moment for reflection as a nation. What constitutes good leadership? What constitutes how to treat leaders? Even assuming that the leaders are bad, how are we going to treat our leaders as a nation? Should it take death to realize that what we are doing is wrong? I think not. And that is the concern of the family, that perhaps through the death of President Edgar Chagwa Lungu, the nation will find the healing that it deserves. And for that reason, I agree with what my brother, Sensho Banda, has said, and perhaps it's time that we reflected on those issues and many more. Ambassador, I thank you very much for having me. Unless there's an issue that I may not have responded to amongst the issues that were raised.
No, Council.
I know Robert,
you have exceeded, Council, you've exceeded your hospitality, but it demonstrates how important this matter was to the nation. And I'm glad that you shelved a lot of meetings, including the one you're already late for, to just give the insights you've given. I'll let you go, and I would like to thank you so much.
Mutati exclusive.
Alright, that's all for you today, lovely viewers. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about the video you just watched in the comment section below. I'll be super glad to hear from you, lovely viewers. Once again, I go by the name of Mutati Mpundu. I love you, peace, I gotta go.